This is a great pleasure and privilege to warmly welcome you all to this magnificently glorious day of 9th International Conference on Dry Zone Agriculture, ICDA 2023, which is proudly presented and hosted by the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Jaffna, Sri Lanka. This is a great pleasure under the theme of Smart Gears for Mitigating Food Crisis. On this occasion, we cordially invite the chief guest, Professor S. Kannadasan, Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna. Our guest of honor, Ms. Maladi Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture. Keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Koichi Ushami, long-term JICA expert, Presider, University of Jaffna, followed by our distinguished guests. We'll raise and welcome them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to commence our event by lighting the lamp of knowledge and wisdom, and starts off inviting our following dignitaries to do the honors. Our chief guest, Professor S. Kannadasan, Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna. Our guest of honor, Ms. Maladi Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka. Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka. Keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Koichi Usami, long-term JICA expert presider. Convener ICDA 2023, Dr. S.J. Arasakesari, and the Joint Secretary of ICDA 2023, Mrs. Kasturi Kajivan. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are now joined by our dignitaries on the head table right here on the stage, now it's time for us to formally commence the event. Now I take a great pleasure in inviting our convener ICDA 2023, Dr. S.J. Arasakesari, to present the welcome address. Now it's time for us to formally...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am in front of you to welcome all the dignitaries and the participants of ICDA 2023. This is a great opportunity to face you because the environment is so conducive to have all conferences in person. Therefore, I personally thank everyone to be in the conference hall. First of all, I wish to welcome our Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Kannadasan. He has come instead of our VC. He is on the overseas visit. Therefore, we welcome you, sir, to this important event. And we cordially invite keynote speaker, Professor Koichi Usami, and he is here for Presida project, and we happily welcome you, sir, to this important event. And my best friend and beloved researcher and then Director General of Agriculture, Ms. Maladi, and we are highly honored by your visit here, madam, because we are really happy to see you and very energetic, dynamic Director General of Agriculture. We welcome you, madam. And I wish to welcome our Professor Vasandaruba, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, who is chair of this conference as well. Therefore, we welcome you, sir, to this important event. And we welcome Ms. Kasturi, Joint Secretary to the ICDA, to this important event. And I wish to welcome former Vice Chancellors of this university, Professor Balasundaram Pillai, Professor Mohana Sundaram sir. We welcome you all to this important event. And then we welcome all the session chairs, especially Professor Sivayoganathan and Dean Vaunia and our Japanese scientists, and you all are welcome to this important event. In addition, we are here to welcome all the deans of faculties, heads of departments, and the senior academics, senior professors, and non-academic staff and other staff of this university of Jaffna, especially Faculty of Agriculture. Also, I welcome my friends, especially the sponsors of these events, President Rotary Club, Mrs. Sivanesan, and the Secretary Rotary Club, Mr. Kannan, and we welcome you all to this important event. And then our another sponsor, CAC, Mr. Ganesh, and other co-group of that CAC members, we welcome you all to this important event. And then we welcome to the other departments, heads of departments. You have come a long way from different places to greet us and to greet us. So therefore, we welcome you all to this important event, all the department heads of agriculture, engineering, animal science, and others. And we welcome you, the faculty department heads, You all were backbone of this ICDA. Up to now, you were helping us. So therefore, we are welcome you all. And we welcome the VC media and press and all other students and all other participants. Please enjoy this event, and your participation is must. And we are greatly thankful to all the people, and we welcome you all again and to have important event. If I miss you anybody, please excuse me for not including in the list of invitees, but you are wholeheartedly invited without any hesitation. Therefore, please be here and enjoy your presence here, and we will have at the end of the day, you can have a very good take-home message from us. And if I miss anybody, please excuse me, and thank you for the patience of my welcome address. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I cordially invite Professor S. Vasantaruba, Conference Chair, ICDA 2023, and the Dean Faculty of Agriculture, University of Jaffna, to deliver the address of gathering.
Chief guest of the conference, Professor Kannadasan, Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna, and guest of honor, Ms. Malathi Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture. Our keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Koichi Uzami from Nagoya University, Japan. Our convener, Dr. S.J. Arasakesari, and our secretary, Mrs. Kasturi Kajivan. And ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. First of all, on behalf of Faculty of Agriculture, I welcome you all to the 9th International Conference on Dry Zone Agriculture, ICDA 2023. This ICDA concept was initiated in 2015 in commemoration of the Silver Jubilee celebration of the Faculty of Agriculture. Since then, we are conducting this ICDA event annually under different themes. Now, ICDA has become an important event in the annual calendar of the Faculty of Agriculture. This year, we are conducting the ICDA under the theme of Smart Gears for Mitigating Food Crisis. A large number of presenters presented their papers at the past ICDA conferences, which included from presenters from foreign countries like India and Japan. So I would like to brief about our faculty in my address. Our faculty was established in Kilinochchi in 1990 with the purpose of developing the dry zone agriculture in this region. But unfortunately, we have forced to shift our faculty to Jaffna in 1997 and stayed there temporarily up to 2014. In 2014, the faculty restarted the education and research activities in the new Kilinochchi premises. However, the infrastructure was inadequate and more extensive facilities were desired. Indian government helped us to build this auditorium, library and computer unit, sports complex and a canteen. Japanese government helped us to build a wonderful research and training complex, including the sophisticated equipments. They also helped us to build the processing units, farm units under this JICA project. This grant aid project was completed in 2021. Last year, we have received another 5-year technical cooperation project, and the title of this project is Project for Research and Education Capacity Improvement in the Dry Zone Agriculture at University of Jaffna. This project commenced during the latter part of 2022 under the guidance of 2 emeritus Japanese professors, Professor Ogata and Professor Uzami. This project aims to enhancing the education, research and outreach or social engagement and strengthening the faculty management. Overall goal of this project is to produce qualified human resources for enhancing agriculture productivity and improve the adaptability to climate changes in dry zone agriculture. This project will also enhance the visit of various short-term experts from various Japanese universities. Currently, 4 eminent scientists, namely Dr. Ehara, Dr. Toyada, and Dr. Tasumi, and Dr. Ozaki, with us on this project. We hope several Japanese professors will visit us to our faculty in the future under this project and start collaborative researches with our staff members. With this Indian and Japanese grant, we have almost fulfilled our infrastructure facilities. Currently, our student strength has also increased to around 150 to 160 students per batch. New students from the 34th batch came to our faculty last week. So far, 30 batches of students have passed out from our faculty. We have also reactivated our alumni association. Currently, Professor Bahiradan from the Department of Agriculture Biology is the new president of the alumni association. I hope he will coordinate with our alumni members and make this association as a stronger unit. We are also, in addition to our normal curriculum student activities, we are also conducting several certificate courses targeting farmers and school leavers who like to engage in farming and related activities. We have successfully completed certificate courses like mushroom technology, vermin technology, principles of farm machinery, principles of micro irrigation, and livestock and poultry rearing. We are planning to have another batch of students as early as possible. We are also helping the School of Agriculture students and students following the advanced level agriculture by conducting several practical demonstrations using our laboratory and farm facilities. Our staff also conducts several training programs for agriculture instructors, extension officers, in collaboration with the Department of Agriculture and HARTI. Recently, we have conducted a workshop titled AgriTech with the collaboration of our alumni members. The aim of this workshop is to identify and provide solution to the problem faced by the farming community and agro-based entrepreneurs through research and discussion with relevant staff and students of the Faculty of Agriculture. We hope this workshop will motivate our students towards more problem-based and solution-oriented researchers in the future. Staff and students from the Department of Animal Science develop a new drinking yogurt incorporated with bale fruit syrup. This product was commercialized by a company called Mullai Milk Processing Industry under the guidance of UBL cell of the University of Jaffna. Our staff members also signed licensing agreement with commercial partners for the development of supercompost and bioplastic under the guidance of UBL cell of the University of Jaffna. Staff and students from our faculty also involved several community-based activities. We have been involved in a reforestation project near Murikandi with the collaboration of a private partner, Mass Holdings. We are also working with the Agriculture Sector Skill Council of the Ministry of Education on a project. The ultimate aim of this project is to facilitate around 10,000 farmers from the northern province to get GAP certificates. Our faculty also involved in climate smart irrigated agriculture projects in this region. We have also started the Professor Somasundram Kandeya Memorial Lectures from last year onwards. Professor Kandeya is the first dean of the faculty. We have scheduled the second Professor Kandeya Memorial Lecture on 22nd of September, that is day after tomorrow. Professor Kogi Toyada from Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology will be delivering these lectures titled Approach to Sustainable Soil Use to Feed a Growing World Population. So with this, these are some activities is carried out by our faculty in the recent times. With this brief note, I would like to wrap up my address. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, sir, for setting the stage and outlining the purpose of gathering. Now we kindly invite our chief guest, Professor S. Kannadasan, Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna, to deliver the chief guest address.
The conference chair of the 9th International Conference on Dry Zone Agriculture, Dr. Arasagesari, and the joint secretaries, Kasturi and Venugopan. The conference chair, Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Professor Vasandaruba, and the special guest, Director General, Department of Agriculture, Maladi Parasuraman, and our special keynote address, Emeritus Professor from Nagoya University, Japan, Kouchi Ushami, and the Chancellor of University of Vavuniya, Professor Moganadas, and the former Vice Chancellor, Professor Balasundaram Pillai, and the Dean, Faculty of Technology, Professor Sivamati, and the former Dean, Agriculture, Professor Mihundan, and our Professor Sivayoganathan, and the deans of the other faculties, and the academic staffs, the Agriculture Department and Animal Production and Health Department staff members or delegates, and our JICA expert, Ogata, and his team, Japanese friends, and the presenters of this scientific session, heads of the department on academic staff, and my dear students. First of all, I would like to thank for this opportunity and welcome this very important research conference on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and the University of Jaffna. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, and his team, the academic staff, for arranging this kind of conferences to disseminate the research findings to the respective people as one of the vision of the University of Jaffna, research and dissemination. They have conducting this conference in the theme of smart gears for mitigating food crisis. We know a couple of years back, the Microsoft has announced there will be a crisis in the virus, and they have the Bill Gates, he has invested in the vaccine companies, and we had this pandemic of COVID-19. Then of course whether he has benefited and the community benefited. Now recently he has advocating the next crisis will be in the food, and he is also investing in the fertile lands, and this is happening. So according to the pattern, he is actually a software person. By looking at the algorithms, he is forecasting. So we are in the midst of expecting the food crisis. In order to mitigate, our faculty has also taken steps to take some initiatives in terms of evidence-based research, and now they are in the stage of disseminating to the respective people in order to take up and to take the challenge in the future. So in this regard, I would like to thank this conference, which will be very useful for us actually in the region. In this context, I also would like to thank the JICA project, which has given us the opportunity for this faculty, as actually speaking in the University of Jaffna. Research and Training Center has been built up with highly sophisticated equipments, which has to be utilized. Of course, with Japan and Jaffna somewhat closer. So we have to work together, and they have, as the Dean mentioned, they have embarked on the second stage of capacity building. Actually, infrastructure has been built up. Next level is capacity building. So we have to thank the people of Japan and the JICA project on behalf of the University of Jaffna. So without further delay, we are going to listen from the experts. Once again, thank you very much for this opportunity, and very good luck for the future, the evening presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that enlightening talk packed with valuable insights. Now, the most awaited item of the agenda is the publication of the proceedings of ICDA 2023, themed Smart Gears for Mitigating Food Crisis. We kindly invite the Conference Chair, ICDA 2023, and the Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Professor S. Vasantaruba, to present the first copy of the proceeding to our chief guest, Professor S. Kannadasan, Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna. Thank you very much, sir. We kindly request our chief guest, Professor Kannadasan, to stay on the stage to issue the proceedings to our delegates. We kindly invite the following delegates to receive the proceedings of ICDA 2023. Our guest of honor, Ms. Maladi Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka. Keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Koichi Ushami, long-term JICA expert, Presider, University of Jaffna. Mr. S. Satishwaran, Director, Seeds and Planting Material Division, Department of Agriculture, Ganarva. Mr. S. Sivaneshan, Additional Director, Regional Research and Development Center, Kilinochchi. Thank you very much, sir. We kindly invite the Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Professor S. Vasantaruba, to present the proceedings to our invitees. We invite the following invitees to receive the proceedings of ICDA 2023. Mr. P. Loganathan, General Manager, Palmyra Development Board. Professor Ogato Kashore, long-term JICA expert, Presider, University of Jaffna. Takayama Mishako, Secretary, JICA Presider, University of Jaffna. Engineer K. Karunanidhi, Deputy Director, Irrigation Department. Dr. S. Kajaranjan, Veterinary Surgeon, Ganesapuram, Kilinochchi. Mrs. Jagadishwari, Deputy Director, Extension. Thank you very much, sir. We kindly request the convener ICDA 2023, Dr. S.J. Arasakesari, to present the proceedings to our invitees. We invite the following invitees to receive the proceedings of ICDA 2023. Mr. Babu, Deputy Director, Climate Smart Irrigation Project. Mr. S. Selvanathan, Retired Research Officer. Mr. Gauri Tilagan. President Rotary Club Kilinochchi. Mr. R. Ganeshalingam, General Manager, Crop Solutions, CIC Holdings, Public Limited Company. Manager, People's Bank Kilinochchi. Thank you very much all. We kindly request our dignitaries in the stage to have your seats in the front rows. Ladies and gentlemen, moving to the next item of the agenda is to address by the guest of honor, Ms. Maladi Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka. For that, I kindly invite Dr. S.J. Arasakesari, the convener ICDA 2023, to introduce our guest speaker to the audience.
Once again, good morning to you all. This is the opportunity to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Maladi Parasuraman. She has joined the department in 1992, Department of Agriculture, as a research scientist, and she worked in Bandaravilla, Hodi Gannuruva, and Vegetable Research Station, Gannuruva. And she holds several positions in the Department of Agriculture. She was the research officer and the director HODI, and then additional secretary Ministry of Agriculture. Now she became the Director General of Agriculture. She worked in many crops, especially tomato, potato, brinjal, vegetables, and fruits and other crops. She has published more than 30 scientific papers in journals and conferences. And she was awarded the Best Junior Scientist Award and the Best Presenter Award in the Department of Agriculture. She holds so many positions in the CARP and the other reputed institutions. And now she became the Director General of Agriculture. She is very dynamic and very potential and very energetic Director General at present. So therefore, she has done more than this. But with a small introduction, I cordially invite Ms. Malathi Parasuraman, Director General of Agriculture, for delivering special guest speech. Over to Director General of Agriculture, please.
Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, and former Vice Chancellor, Deans, University Academia, the participants from international agents, government agencies, non-government agencies, private sector, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, all of you. Indeed, I'm very much grateful to the organizers for inviting me to this important conference, ICDA. And today I'm going to share some information on research and development focused towards sustainable development in food and feed crops in 2030 and beyond. So my presentation is going to focus on importance of sustainable food and feed development for Sri Lanka's future, the current agricultural landscapes in Sri Lanka, the challenges facing in the agricultural sector, the vision for sustainable food and feed production in 2030 and beyond, and key focus areas for research and development. We all may aware that in Sri Lanka, out of 22 million population, nearly 17 population is in acute food insecurity. Not only that, nearly 20% of the children under age of 5 is malnourished, while nearly 40% of people in between 16 to 60 years are obese. So this is not only in rural and estate sector, but it's also found in urban areas. Therefore, this actually indicates the balanced dietary pattern of our people. Therefore, we have to ensure food security as well as nutrient security by consistent supply of safe, nutritious food and sustainable production and consumption food of our nation. This not only mitigated malnutrition but also save food security. So this is actually aligned with the SDG goals of zero hunger and responsible consumption and production. And we have to preserve our environment by protecting the ecosystem by safeguarding soil, water and biodiversity, and prevent environmental degradation through crop management, and resilient to climate change for sustainable production by using climate resilient crops and management to assure production. Sustainable food and feed system is very much important because it contributes economic prosperity. It empowers the rural livelihood and eradicate rural poverty and enhance the contribution of GDP by improving agro-based product. We all know our country is a net importing country. So now we have to shift our country from net importing country to self-sufficient level. For that we have to ensure the national self-sufficiency in food production. Thereby we can save foreign exchange which involve with importation. The agricultural research and development is highly important to ensure production of healthy, nutritious local food with international quality standards. This could be achieved by generating appropriate technology and disseminating that to farmers as well as all stakeholders. Thereby we can ensure local food supply and export agro-based product. Development of new varieties and agronomic packages is very much important to increase the production and improve the quality. Optimize water usage using several micro-irrigation systems and minimize chemical inputs using several methods including biopesticides, biocontrol agents and natural enemies, and enhance nutrient management using integrated plant nutrient management system, and improve labor efficiency using mechanization, contribute to resource efficiency and reduce environmental impact. Not only that, developing integrated pest management strategies using physical barriers, trails and all the methods, IPM methods, and developing disease and pest resistant or tolerant varieties using by identifying the traits could support to manage the pest and diseases efficiently. Conservation and maintenance of genetic diversity is very much important for future crop improvement programs, and also conserve indigenous plant species is important for nutrition that are having nutritional and medicinal values. We all know there is a knowledge gap between farmer and researcher. So we have to make ways and means to transfer the knowledge, the knowledge that are having with the researchers to the farmers as well as other stakeholders. Thereby we can increase our overall agricultural productivity. So our country need a consistent policy. We already submitted 2 policies. One is overarching agricultural policy, other one is sectoral policy for food and feed crops sector. So both are already submitted to the Parliament. However, we must have continuous policy studies, regular policy studies to do amendment whenever necessary. So we have to ensure quality agro product that meet international standards, and we have to explore new export market opportunities in order to enhance the country's competitiveness in the global market, thereby boosting economic growth by new venture. Now we will see the current situation of agricultural landscape. The agriculture sector contributes around 7 to 8% to GDP, and around 30% of the workforce is employed in the agricultural sector. However, the farm size is lesser than 1 hectare because the population has increased and it led to fragmentation of lands that become uneconomical. Because of the increase of population, there is an increase in food demand. However, increasing demand for housing and infrastructure reduce the land availability for agriculture. We can see that younger generation is not interested in agriculture currently. They often migrate to urban areas, which leads to labor shortage in rural areas. So this leads to aging population in agricultural sector. Our major food crops contributing a substantial share to food security. Except last 2 years, we have almost self-sufficient in rice production. We have reached self-sufficiency in rice in 2011 and continued up to 2020. And there is, because of some impose of sudden policies, we have somehow we have to forced to import some rice. But however, this year, I think we don't need to import any rice into our country. When we consider the vegetables, now we are not importing vegetables for our local consumption. Only small quantity is imported only for the hotel industries. When considering fruits, we are importing only the temperate fruits but not the tropical fruits. So Sri Lanka has a diverse agroclimatic zones. We have 46 agroclimatic zones, and we are having a diverse range of crops due to its various climatic nature that include rice, tea, rubber, coconut as well as spices. When we consider our food habit, it is changing with increasing per capita income. Currently, and it demands for no luxury food. So initially we were consumed more starchy foods. Then it shifted to high protein rich foods. And nowadays we can see that more population prefers fresh fruits and vegetables. This is the changing food habit we have observed currently. Access to local and international market is a challenge for smallholders because smallholding cultivation is high cost of production and transportation also very high. And this cultivation is difficult to reach these quality standards. Therefore, the price is fluctuating when they sell their produce. The government initiatives and policies are aiming to modernize agriculture, increase value addition, and promote sustainable practices for a resilient future. You might have heard that His Excellency of President is proposing a agrotech university comprising all these technical research institutes. So this is one of the government initiative currently is proposing. We have facing several challenges in agriculture, mainly land, water, and limited resources and technologies. Thereby, we have to produce more with less. So, climate change impact is one of the major challenges in agriculture. Erratic weather patterns, including drought, flood, temperature rise, and changing rainfall patterns, it poses significant challenges to crop productivity as well as stability. Increase in population and urbanization lead to land conversion for housing and infrastructure, thus reducing the available arable land for farming. A majority of farms are smallholder operations with fragmented land, as I mentioned earlier. So they are limited access to modern technology and challenges in accessing market. Limited water resources and inadequate irrigation systems affect crop yields and sustainability. In addition, limited access to domestic and international markets coupled with volatile prices affects farmer income and overall economic growth. Increasing pest and disease pressures aggravated by changing climatic conditions have severe impact on crop health and yields. Lack of processing facilities and value-added products reduces the income potential of agricultural produce. As I mentioned earlier, the demographic changes resulting in an aging agricultural workforce. Therefore, the elder people depends on conventional farming methods and inadequate knowledge of modern practices that hinder the productivity and sustainability. We all know limited access to agricultural credit and financial services constrains investment in modern technologies and practices. Now we'll see our vision for sustainable food and feed in 2030 and beyond. Climate resilience is our major vision. We have to develop climate resilient crops and technologies as well as sustainable farming in order to achieve this task. Development of eco-friendly agriculture to quality assured soils and water resources is very important to conserve biodiversity. Implementing practices that minimize resource use, water pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions contribute to a cleaner environment, thus reduce the environment impact. Technology integration. This is very much important, and this could be achieved by harnessing advanced technologies such as precision agriculture, data analysis, big data analysis, in order to optimize resource utilization and productivity. In order to achieve the food and nutritional security, we have to ensure a consistent supply of safe and nutritional food for all Sri Lankans in order to eradicate hunger and malnutrition. We have to encourage the cultivation of a variety of nutritious crops and feed sources to improve dietary diversity and livestock health to achieve nutritional security. In addition, facilitating access to domestic and international markets, expanding international markets, enabling farmers to secure better prices for their products. Promoting awareness about sustainable practices among farmers and consumers, fostering a culture of responsible for food and feed production by e-agriculture, mass media users, etc. Community empowerment could be done by engaging local communities, farmers, and stakeholders in decision-making process to ensure the inclusivity of sustainable development. Uplifting rural livelihoods and fostering economic growth by enhancing the productivity of agricultural systems and value chains is our vision to achieve economic prosperity. Now we will see the key focus areas for research and development. Climate resilient crop varieties. Development and introduction of crop varieties that can thrive in changing climatic conditions that include resistant or tolerant to drought, flood, heat, and salinity, etc. To achieve sustainable farming practices, we have to promote agroecological practices such as organic farming, conservation tillage, and crop rotation to enhance soil health, water efficiency, and biodiversity. Research strategies could be developed for efficient nutrient management such as integrated plant nutrient system, cover cropping, and soil conservation to improve soil fertility and reduce the soil degradation in order to maintain and manage the nutrient as well as soil health. Develop innovative irrigation techniques, water-saving technologies, and drought-tolerant crops would support to ensure efficient water utilization in agriculture. Technology integration. Leverage precision agriculture tools, IoT devices, artificial intelligence, and data analytics to optimize resource allocation, improve crop monitoring, and enhance productivity. Value chain enhancement. We know nowadays the theme is farm to fork. So we have to focus on pre and post harvest handling, storage, and processing and value addition to reduce losses, increase product shelf life, and enhance market value. Climate smart livestock management. This is research sustainable livestock practices is very much important, including feed optimization, animal health management, and waste reduction to improve feed efficiency and reduce environmental impact. We have to focus on biodiversity friendly agriculture. For that, we have to develop strategies to promote, to conserve biodiversity through intercropping, agroforestry, and integrating native plants to support ecosystem balances. Market access and trade opportunities could be touched through research on market demand, trade policies, and quality standards to support farmers' access to domestic and international markets. We have to focus on farmer training and extension services to disseminate research findings and promote the adoption of sustainable practices. Youth should be empowered by using mechanization and modern marketing system, and agro-tourism should be promoted to ensure farming experience for urban peoples and generate additional income for rural people. And we have to support the employment to ensure farmer income, and empowerment of rural women is vital to ensure household food security and income. In addition to that, we have to upgrade legislative procedures that align with international treaties and agreements in order to harmonize their level at international standards. So I have to mention here legislative procedure aligned with international treaties, because we know these days our country now exporting vegetables and fruits mainly to Middle East, Maldives as well as EU countries. But however, we are frequently getting non-compliance report from EU countries mainly on leafy vegetables. Therefore, we have to have a good legislative procedure, otherwise that EU country will ban our exportation. Now we will look into the policy interventions. So we have to promote the crop productivity. For that, we have to have policies to support the development of new technology and dissemination, facilitation and technical support to access improved seeds and practices, and establish demonstration productivity enhancing techniques in farms. The other area policy have to interfere in self-sufficiency in major food crops. So for that, we have to develop targeted policies to achieve self-sufficiency in major crops. To achieve that, we have to provide facilitation for farmers to adopt improved agronomic technologies. We all know currently we are requiring nearly 50,000 metric tons of dry chilies. Out of that, we are only producing nearly 2,000 tons. So we are importing nearly 48,000 of tons of dry chilies from our neighboring countries. So, but in our areas, in Sri Lanka, including that northern region, we have good climatic conditions to produce chili for the dry chili production. So we have to implement some policies in order to in order to produce our local dry chili production. Not only that, we are importing nearly 260,000 tons of big onion annually. But you see, in our northern region as well as eastern province and some other areas in other country, we have a good potential to produce our small onion in our country. So we have to expand our small onion cultivation, thereby we are reducing gradually our big onion imports. So there are two important major crops I want to, because this northern region, I would like to emphasize these two crops. With all of your support, I think we can have reached the self-sufficient in both of these crops. So export promotion. We have to ensure compliance with international quality standards and certifications, and we have to establish trade agreements and partnerships to expand export opportunities and provide export-related initiatives and support for agribusiness, mainly SMEs. You all know that Department of Agriculture has initiated Sri Lanka SL-GAP. So the good agricultural programs now, I think that our Dean Faculty of Agriculture also mentioned that there were 10,000 farmers, their clusters are using that vegetable production using Sri Lankan GAP. And also this should be because in the SL GAP that good agriculture practices is monitored by, there is a unit in our Department of Agriculture that is from the farm up to the export point. At the same time that SL GAP has now expanded to accepted and implemented by the Department of Export Agriculture, mainly for the cinnamon exportation. Production of animal feed ingredients. For that, we have to encourage the cultivation of feed crops to reduce reliance on imports, and we have to offer incentives for research and development of locally sourced feed ingredients and facilitate access to credit and resources for farmers engaging in feed crop cultivation. You all may be aware that recently the government has action to announce this our fodder cultivation, or that pastures or that grasses to as agricultural crops through this agrarian act to cultivate in the abandoned paddy lands. Not only that, that our government is now taking requesting that Department of Animal Production and Health to develop their own feed crops instead of relying on importation. Recently there was a proposal came to import one of the high nutritious animal grasses to import into our country for dairy farming, but however the Biodiversity Secretariat is refusing to give permission because they are invasive in nature. So with all the support of universities as well as the Department of Animal Health and Production, we have to develop our own feed sources for dairy farming. Farm mechanization. For that, to expand the farm mechanization and introducing it, we must need appropriate policy for make the affordable and accessible way to the farming community, and we have to offer training and technical assistance for the efficient use of mechanization. For that, we are proposing machinery hubs in either all districts or in the all agrarian service centers. This is the proposal we have made to taking as a policy decision to introduce the farm mechanization to make available to all farmers. And we have to reduce pesticide reliance. We have to expand that use of integrated pest management, and it should become as a policy. And also we have to provide training and extension to educate farmers on sustainable pest management. And if possible, we have to offer incentives for adopting IPM practices, mainly biopesticides, because earlier we do not have any registration or procedure. Now we had the Register of Pesticides have already developed on regulations to register biopesticides. So this photograph shows one of that biocontrol agent developed by the one of our scientists at Hodi to control that whitefly in coconut. So in one event it was handed over to the Coconut Research Institute by our Minister of Agriculture. Land consolidation and plot consolidation is very important to use mechanization to increase productivity. But however, because of this small small cluster of farming, it is very important. So we have to need policies for voluntary land consolidation as well as for the registration procedure. So we have to provide legal and administrative support to streamline the land consolidation process. Otherwise, it is very difficult to increase the agricultural productivity. Crop diversity and specialization. We have to encourage crop diversification to enhance resilience against market fluctuations and climate impacts. Recently, we have come into an agreement that we are going to, from the next year, we are going to increase, we are going to utilize the some of the paddy lands for mainly for crop, maize as well as soya bean cultivation, because we know that for this animal, especially poultry industry, they need 500,000 metric tons of maize, and currently in the normal years we are producing nearly 350,000, and annually we are importing nearly 150,000 of tons. So because if we take that area, in Maha season it is going up to 110,000 hectare, but in Yala season only 18 to 20,000 hectare. So during Yala season, where the land is not very productive, the government is now proposing to utilize that for the maize cultivation. Thereby we can increase our maize production, so we can reduce the importation of maize into the country. Thereby we can save the foreign exchange involved with the importation of maize. So value chain development is another important area where policy intervention is required. We have to promote the establishment of agro-processing industries and value-added products, and we have to facilitate linkages between farmers, processors and markets to improve the value chain efficiency, and financial support and technical assistance is required for agro-processing ventures. When we consider the international collaborations, fostering knowledge exchange and resource sharing is important to address global agricultural challenges, and facilitates the sharing of knowledge, resources and best practices by connecting diverse expertise is support to address complex agricultural issues on a global scale. Therefore, Sri Lanka should enhance its standing in the global agricultural landscape by leveraging its unique agroclimatic diversity, fostering research-driven innovation, and actively participating in international collaborations. Thus, it can contribute valuable insights and solutions to global agricultural challenges. In a nutshell, I can summarize my presentation as agricultural research drives innovation, fostering the development of climate-resilient crops, sustainable practices and technology integration, ensures a productive and environmentally conscious agricultural sector that is vital for Sri Lanka's sustainable development. By addressing challenges like climate change, population growth and resource scarcity, agricultural research strengthens food security and enhances rural livelihoods. Thus, it contributes to economic growth through increased productivity and market competitiveness. Embracing international collaboration and knowledge sharing amplifies Sri Lanka's presence on the global agricultural stage, allowing the nation to contribute to solutions for shared challenges and benefit from diverse perspectives. Agricultural research empowers farmers with knowledge, modern techniques, and cutting-edge tools, enabling them to adapt to changing conditions, make informed decisions, and drive the nation's agricultural progress well into the future. Therefore, innovation and sustainability, food security and economic growth, global engagement and collaboration, and empowerment and future preparedness is vital for Sri Lanka's sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam, for gracing our stage with your mind-blowing ideas for the development of sustainable agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the keynote address, a moment that promises to set the tone for the conference. Our keynote speaker is a visionary in his field, renowned for his groundbreaking research and profound insights. So may I request Dr. K. Suryakumar to introduce Our keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Koichi Ushami, long-term JICA expert, presida University of Jaffna, to our esteemed audience.
So, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so pleased to be here with you today morning and to have the chance to introduce our keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Koichi Usami. He was a professor at Nagoya University Graduate School of International Development. He graduated from Nagoya University in 1978. He obtained master and PhD degree in agricultural and forestry economics in 1984 and 1994 respectively from Kyoto University. He started his academic career as an assistant professor at Faculty of Agriculture, Kyoto University in 1988. Later, he was appointed as an associate professor at Faculty of Agriculture, Yamaguchi University in 1996 and promoted as a professor in the same university in 2005. He moved to Nagoya University as a professor and retired in 2021. His field of study covers agricultural economics, farm management, agriculture extension, and rural development. He published 11 books and 44 research papers. He supervised 9 JICA trainees at master's course and PhD course. He served as a JICA short-term expert in developing research capability of staff at Hanoi Agriculture University in Vietnam and JICA short-term expert in participatory rural development project in Bangladesh. He has conducted research on agricultural development and rural development by way of collaboration in Asian countries, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and Mongolia. Today he is going to talk on preparedness for food crisis resilience. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker this morning, Emeritus Professor Koichi Usami. Sir, over to you.
Good morning, honorable guest, acting vice chancellor, and special guest from Director General from Department of Agriculture, and other honorable guests and young participant from Faculty of Agriculture. Good morning. Then everyone, then Manakam, and good morning. So today my keynote speech title is Preparedness for Food Crisis. Then second title is Resilient or not resilient. Then first of all, I'd like to remind the significance of today's conference. Look at this picture. There is some person prepare one fold of rice, then many person waiting, something like that. This is a typical phenomenon of food crisis. Right? Then this conference keyword is a food crisis. Then mitigation is a secondary significance. Then third one is a smart and gears. What is relationship among those three keywords. Then I try to give some answer. What is the relationship among these keywords? Then, after my presentation or after today's conference, I hope all participants go back. Then at home or with your friends, please try to think what is a food crisis to you or to your family. What are smart gear? Something like that. That is my purpose, purpose of my presentation today. Then table of contents. Keyword just I shown. Food crisis, sustainable livelihood, smart gear, and resilience. That means that preparedness is enough or not. Is the implication of word of resilience. Then food crisis. Maybe all participants, Sri Lankan people, you are now facing a kind of food crisis. A few months back, when I reached Colombo, I can easily find out, then purchase eggs at the supermarket, food city. But something happened. All eggs are disappeared. So we face a kind of food crisis. Then time has passed. Even we find out the eggs at some place, price is very high. Then I always hesitated, price of egg is very, very high. What is the alternative? But no alternative. So I stopped to purchase eggs. So I'm a kind of victim of food crisis. But anyway, I can survive here. Then food crisis phenomenon. Why some paper said food crisis is a phenomenon like widespread scarcity of food in a society. Then typical one is the price is high, we cannot purchase, then resulting in hunger or famine, serious case. But under the current system, maybe probability of occurrence of famine or hunger is very rare. But if we look at the African country, some place, some country chronically suffering from food crisis due to several reasons. So it means that to our society, food crisis is not problem to others, our problems. That is very important understanding. Next one is if you look at the scale of global food crisis, maybe according to some studies, due to the oil shock, 1973, or after 2008, globally, food crisis occurred. But minor food crisis or less uniform food crisis is available, different year, different place, something like that, right? But now, once something happened, scale of food crisis is globally occurred. Then many people suffer from the impact of food crisis. Then what's a cause behind food crisis? Maybe everybody knows, because many newspapers explain, many scholars explain something like even FAO or UNDP, World Bank issued some report about food crisis. Then according to some paper, some research, maybe everybody come to know main reason is a crop failure, population exposure, government policies, and induction of food production. Right? That is a maybe list of cause behind food crisis. Then maybe if you check some trend of food crisis from the viewpoint of reason or cause. Maybe first early stage, they stress maybe nature characters, because climate change or something, the disaster of typhoon, cyclone, earthquake, etc., etc. Then balance between supply and demand is changed. Then as a result, prices increased. But now, if you look into the reason why food crisis come out, maybe structure of reason is very, very, very complicated, structurally complicated. Of course, one of them is climate change, one of them is some government, some of it is some war. So now, if we look at the East Europe, some place, there's some conflict between some country, then those area is a bowl of wheat. That's why supply of wheat to market is remarkably down, but unfortunately, global market mechanism does not work efficiently. That's why some place lack of supply, so price is high. Some place, because of some reason, they never suffer from the price, a high price of wheat, something like that. So different. Right? Then that is those stressing the nature character to social characters. So that means the focus is shifted. Maybe if we supply more, if produce more, maybe no more food crisis. Very, very optimistic. But reality is different. Because more important now is even there are enough food, how to distribute. Right? So not only production, how to distribute efficiently, effectively is very important. Then if good or enough supply, then product is effectively, efficiently distributed to where people needs. Maybe to some extent protect. That is the implication. Then in that context, just Director General Department Agriculture said, food security come out to convince that why agriculture is important, why food policy is important. But I'm not sure to what extent those such keyword, food security is understand among citizens. In Japanese context, so far, maybe food security is a very, very influential keyword to convince, set up the food policy. But unfortunately, those food policy is too much oriented to the farmers. But food is not, food is not to only farmers. We should not forget the significant support of consumers. So it means that from the both aspects, producers aspect, consumers aspect, then if both sides understand the significance of the food security, then maybe new policy can be implemented. Then consumer as well as producer support why food policy, why agricultural policy, why rural policy are important. So that's why through discussing all the food crisis, then we should rethink the significance of food policy, agricultural policy, and rural policy. That is a maybe implication from these topics. Then I give you one brief lecture. We often use two words, growth and development. Right? Maybe economic growth, economic development. What's the difference? Then maybe now, at this moment, under the given condition, farmer produce paddy. They supply input, fertilizer, labor, capital, something like that. Now under these conditions, we can draw the sum, a kind of linear function. Right? Then under this linear function, more input, more produce. So movement along this lower linear line is a growth. But to achieve the development, we have to shift this production function. Then this linear function is shifted upward. Maybe we can identify, oh, there are development. What realize, what enable such kind of shift of linear function? Maybe to all participants is the expert of agricultural science, technology, biotechnology, biological technology, or mechanical technology, something like that. Technology is very, very useful and significant tool to realize or achieve this kind of development. Then maybe all scholars from Faculty of University, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Jaffna can highly contribute. Development, of course, growth is important, but to enhance some affordability of the society, maybe we cannot avoid, we cannot escape how to achieve development. So development includes a structural change. Right? So second keyword is sustainable livelihood framework. Okay? You manage your own livelihood, isn't it? Then you, according to the textbook, you hold three capital, so three, how can I say, production factors, okay? Land, labor, and capital. Using these factors, you manage economic activity. Then to maximize the income, you allocate those resources. Right? Then you spend earning to maximize the utility of your life. That is one aspect of livelihood. But this framework is different. Your livelihood maybe consists of five capitals. One is a human capital. Second one is a social capital. Third is a natural capital. Fourth is a physical capital, financial capital. You hold. But each person has a different quality, quantity of these capital. Right? Then you use, okay, you try to achieve the optimum use, optimum allocation of these capitals to maximize the income, to maximize the utility from consumption. But this is decided under a certain condition. A certain condition is this part. So this part is maybe rule, policy, etc., etc., etc. This is a given condition to your livelihood. Right? Then decide economic activity. Right? That is a daily life. But if we consider sustainability, we cannot forget the keyword. This part is a vulnerability context. Okay? If now you are very peaceful, no problem. Right? But in daily life, okay, we experience shock, trend, some seasonality. Farmers, 2 seasons. For Japanese, spring, summer, autumn, winter. So condition is different. Then stress, if typhoon attacked, some damage we have suffered. If your family member is met accident, it's an impact to your livelihood. you have to solve. You have to cope with this accident issues. If trend of policy is changing, you have to react. Otherwise, you cannot keep your livelihood. So it means that if your livelihood, if your livelihood face some stress, impact, some change, okay, you have to review the resources, capitals, then external condition, policy or something like that. Then here part, you have to establish a good some strategy to solve the issue. Right? At that time, how to establish a strategy is highly depend on the own resources, acknowledgement of policies, something like that. That's why many 10 persons are given in the same condition. Maybe reaction of each of them is vary from person to person. Some is enough resources, quality of resources is rich. That's why as a result, okay, reaction of livelihood of family individual is different. Then as a result, recovered, cope with the difficulty, livelihood can be sustainable. If not, sorry, it becomes some social issue. Right? That is a basic framework. Right? Then this framework is very, very useful to understand what is the structure of livelihood, what kind of resources or capital is available, then how they use those capitals. Then in response to some shock, okay, stress, okay, how livelihood can react. At that time, what resource can be used, or what kind of external resource can be used. It's a very, very decisive, okay, factor to recover and sustain the livelihood. Right? Then especially policymaker, even the government officer should, okay, contribute to this part. Then here, or if the relevant scholar should, okay, request or give advice, what kind of policy should be prepared immediately, timely. Then if necessary, amend the policy, something like that. So this one is very important. Then please look at what kind of 5 resources do you have, then how you can utilize. Efficiency or utilization is the maximum or underuse or misuse, something like that. This one is an example. Like human capital, maybe everybody knows. Education or some health, something like that. Social capital is a network, social relation, norm, etc., etc., etc. Natural is maybe land, water. Physical is transport, shelter, building, like infrastructure. The financial capital is usually cash. Right? Then according to the research so far, maybe very determinant factor to facilitate the recovery is the financial capital. Second one is the social capital. Maybe social capital can enable to mobilize resources. That's why social capital is a very, very determinant to recovery from stress, something like stress impacted livelihood. Next keyword is a smart gear. Then smart. you are familiar. What is smartphone? Why not home? Why use smart? I consult with dictionary. What is a smart? Keshari sensei, sorry, not smart. Mr. Usami, very smart. That is the only appearance. But that kind of smart is applicable to explain this device, node. But even though familiar to you, but I'm not sure to what extent you understand. If you understand the real meaning of smart, your investment to this smartphone is enough or not. Otherwise, it's better to return, or you give this phone to young generation. You can secure the return, okay? Return from investment to smartphone. The smart, intelligent, sensible, and clever. Then being controlled by computer and being designed to react in a suitable way depending on the situation, the technology aspect. Then the next one is a multifunctional and high performance using IT. Right? Then we use keyword smart, smartphone, smart speaker, smart key, smart city, or smart house. So keyword is the IC, right? Then if you consult smartphone, I like to, now I'm Kirinochi, I like to go back to the Jaffna. What is the best route? A9 or another line? Then immediately he give answer. So information is available, then he can calculate, etc., etc. Then provide the optimum answers. Then ICT or computer system is available. Then if you switch on, many applications. Right? If you use a pick me, if you use a, what's that? Delivery system, like a takeaway, immediately, maybe within 5 minutes, within 10 minutes, okay, they deliver it, something like that. Very important, very convenient tool. That is a smart. Next one is a gear. Right? When I come to know the word of gear, it reminds, because I can drive car. Then gear system, 5-gear system, manual gear, automatic gear. Right? Then according to dictionary, not me, dictionary says, device often consisting of connecting set of field with teeth around the edge, while the equipment, etc., etc., that is used to do particular activity, like for example, fishing gear is very familiar to me, but maybe not fishing gear for this conference, right? Maybe gear is some technology, right? Then, so far, the Faculty of Agriculture held some workshop, right? Agri-Tech or someone. Then title is Smart Agriculture. So smartness in agriculture. To what extent, okay, agriculture could be smart, okay, using some technology. Then smart agriculture, then the previous presentation by the Director General used some smart. Then smart agriculture, precision agriculture, or digital agriculture, okay? Then if we use, or if we invest to this smart agriculture, precision agriculture, digital agriculture, what can be, okay, impact, okay? What is the achievement? Keyword is efficiency. I introduce like production function. Maybe linear line is shifted. Even the same input, output can be 1 times 5, 1.5 times or 2 times something. So productivity is increased. Labor productivity, capital intensity, or land productivity is increased. Then equity. Equity means is a noun, okay? By holding this smartphone, maybe everybody can easily access the necessary information. Right? But so far, okay, one of the problems is asymmetry of information. Because of I lack of the information, then acting vice chancellor has enough information. Then if two of us negotiate our boss, Ogata sensei, maybe acting vice chancellor can win the game because of enough information. But because of lack of information, I miss victory. This is a typical asymmetry of information. But using this kind of device, everybody can easily access. Okay? But of course, there are some constraint, human capital, even some capital, financial capital. Right? But now, very cheap, in general, okay? That's why equity. Then, applying or using the smart agriculture, sustainability of production can be secured. Isn't it? But to achieve efficiency, equity, and sustainability, okay, there is a necessary, okay, sufficient condition. One is that digital infrastructure must be. For example, our project now discussing with the Faculty of Agriculture, then many academic staff pointed out, sorry, lack of Wi-Fi, students cannot access the learning material system. That is a digital infrastructure. Right? Second one is the agricultural role in the country. Between the, if awareness or understand of nations to agriculture is achieved, very, very good. Right? Otherwise, okay, maybe no development. The third one is human capital, how to use. For senior person, very tough. Then next is policy and regulatory environment. If private sector can easily enter some field, maybe more innovation can be facilitated. But due to lack of the preparation in the policy or regulation, not possible. Then third one is a research environment, because this is okay. One of the important source is information. Okay. Who can produce? Okay. One of the key person to supply information is a scholar. Right? So your research should highly contribute to supply the information to the society. Right? For example, farmers send some disease through the smartphone, but if no information, maybe smartphone cannot give the proper answers. Then scholar should, this disease, etc., 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 etc. Then computer can search, then find out the optimum solution. That's why essential factors element to functioning is data and information. Right? This is a picture of smart agriculture. Drone controlled by this person, not manually, using tablet. Then if tablet cannot manage the data and information, tablet can control the drone. This part, what's the necessary element of fertilizer? What kind of disease is occurred? What is the condition of the soil moisture? Something like that. Even this one, the tablet, and something like that. It's a typical picture of smart agriculture. Right? Then I hope all of you come to know how data can be utilized by how. This one. Instead of you, maybe computer can think, then find out the best solutions. But tablet or some system needs information, reliable information. Right? That's why basic research is very, very important. How to apply also maybe decided by scholars' research contributions. Then resilience, okay? Risk, okay? How do you define the some risk? Yeah. Now, according to some paper, risk is a livelihood of occurrence, a kind of probability, right? Once a year or once a 10 years, something like that. Then occurrence of shock, stress, plus their potential severity. Then vulnerability is a degree of exposure to the risk and uncertainty and capacity of household or individual to prevent, mitigate, or cope with. Okay? I said, even some farmers attacked by the, how can I say, heavy rain, right? Then damage is the same. Okay? But after few days, change is different between farmer A, farmer B, because of they have a holding of asset is different. Then A farmer recovered, B farmer recovered up to 50%, something like that. Then now, how to understand the preparedness? So I divided two stages. One is the pre-food crisis, before occurrence of food crisis. That is a prevention, right? Then some of you work every morning to keep the health. It's a prevention, right? Then after you go to sick, you go to clinic, that is a treatment, right? Then prevention. Then how can smart gear contribute? Then it means it's a more production, less loss, then effective distribution, then moderate food stock. So one is a more production. Then it enables us to keep moderate food stock. Right. But regarding the food stock, this is a political issue because it costs too much. If we use, everybody appreciate, oh, food stock is a very, very effective, very, very important. But 5 years, good crops, oh my God, how can deal with that food stocked? In the market, price is down, but cost to reserve, keep expensive. Balance is a minus. Who shoulder this minus balance? Government? Or even government said actually tax from peoples. That's why food stock is a good policy, but important is maybe some consensus among the people as well as a government. However, okay, some challenges can be found out. One is a reviewing the assumption of risk. Now, maybe the rainfall, over rainfall, or just a drought, according to my understanding, maybe policies so far, policy can be formulated under the following assumption. Maybe some disaster occurred every 50 years. But unfortunately, okay, some natural disaster is occurred. Scale is once 100. So once, okay, such kind of disaster occurred, damage is tremendous. So we have to review some policies, how they appreciate the risk, especially the probability occurrence of disaster, something like that. So in terms, okay, regarding the policy, assumption is not prepared well. So we have to change the concept of some risk, especially natural disasters. Then next one is the accumulation and informationizing the experienced knowledge. We should learn, okay? We should learn something from the experience, right? So experience converted into the information. But scholar is very busy to cope with the front, okay, issue in front of us. We should review more long-term viewpoint. In the past 50 years, what happened? Then how is the reaction of society? What is the reaction of the peoples? Then feedback to the some policy. That is the accumulation and informalization. Should be. Experience can be converted into the information. The information should be the property of societies. We can share. Then next one is cultivating national awareness and the national consensus on food security. If I raise a food security, okay, some party raise a global market system. If global market system can work effectively, why we need a food stock? But if we can establish a good consensus with people, then people can support our government. Yes, to some extent, we should understand the significance of food security. Security. Even this keyword of security can be applicable to the acting vice chancellor, management of university. Security. Food security as a university. Do you stock the water? Do you stock some biscuit? If something happens, students, how they can survive? If university has some food stock, they can survive until rescue comes, even waters. It's security. But security cannot be left to the government. At least, okay, university is a very important, okay, role players. Then, to some extent, security should be secured to academic staff and students. It's very important, but it's very difficult to formulate some consensus. Then after food crisis, okay, we are ready or resilient. Smart gear, okay? Maybe smart gear, okay, enable correctly grasp the reality of crisis, like a satellite or just smartphone with pictures, right? Easy, right? Then if we consult the AI have enough information and knowledge, what is the optimal solution, okay? Then, so it means, for example, in the case of food, this part, food needed reach where it is needed. But sufficient condition is a reliable information. Then I have said, still, okay, challenges are remained to enhance post-food crisis, okay, action. Disaster prevention map. Okay. But that is not just a food version. Which area can be suffered from lack of food? Something. Based on the experience so far, they can make this kind of disaster prevention map. Then capacity of community and administration rather than the individual. Social, okay? Social network, social lifeline, something is important. To what extent community or lowest administration, like division, how they can administrate the service under the emergency case. If there is some preparation, there is, but unfortunately, maybe it's very hard, this kind of some map or something, the capacity, right? So this is gears. Okay. Then one of gears is smart gears. Okay. Hardware. But some gear might be the soft gears. Software. Then I don't know what is the best combination of gears. Okay? There are many gears, but combination of gear is decided by whom? Then what is the optimum unit? Okay. Nation? No. Maybe Director General said there's some agricultural zone, maybe some Tamil culture, Sinhali culture, something different. So what is the optimum unit to prepare this kind of gears? Then what gear can be applicable? What kind of gear is still underdeveloped, something like that? We have to think. Then that issue should be solved by scholars. Of course, government should push such kind of research work, budget, even the policy and legal framework. So please remind what gears, okay, to what gear do you belong? What kind of gear is your target? Then in the society, what gears can be combined, how to, then what is the optimum unit? It's a very, very important keyword. Right? Of course, somebody said market mechanism is good. Somebody said no, to some extent, maybe control, then something like that. But to me, finally, lastly, I can say, please, okay, under these topics, what is the optimum and necessary relationship between individual and society? Right? Then individual, of course, important player, but we are member of society. Then to what extent society should be functional. Then how we can contribute. Individual, society contribute each other to establish the optimum set of gears. Then what gear can be supplied by whom? Then what is the important fundamentals? So in this context, I have to say again, preparedness is not yet enough, especially post-crisis. But using the soft gears to some extent, production or supply can be increased, but we cannot escape from stress or some risk. But on current, the concept of risk is a very old one. The scale of risk or probability of risk is totally changed. That's why we have to rethink. But those issues cannot be solved by the technology. But step by step, we have to accumulate the result of research by all scholars here. Thank you so much. I'd like to conclude my presentation.
Thank you very much, sir, Emeritus Professor Ushami, for sharing your expertises with us through your valuable keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, now the time to appreciate our chief guest, guest of honor, and the keynote speaker. For that, kindly be invited Professor S. Vasantarupa, the conference chair ICDA 2023, to present the token of appreciation to our chief guest, Professor S. Kannadasan, Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna. Thank you very much, sir. I kindly request our chief guest, Professor S. Kannadasan, to stay on the stage to present a token of appreciation to our keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Kochi Ushami, long-term JICA expert presider. Thank you very much, sir. Now I cordially invite the convener ICDA 2023, Dr. S.J. Arasakesari, to present the token of appreciation to our guest speaker, Ms. Maladi Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka. Thank you very much. This time, we would like to thank our sponsors, JICA Presida, CIC Holdings Public Limited Company, Rotary Club Kilinochi, Farmer Association Iranimadu, People's Bank Kilinochi, Nestle Langa Private Limited Company, Northern Provinces, CNK Agro Green Farm, Well-Wisher from Norway, and the Chami Garment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now closer to the end of the inaugural session of ICDA 2023. So I kindly invite the Joint Secretary of ICDA 2023, Mrs. Kasturi Kajivan, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all. We, the organizing committee of ICDA 2023, are proud to host the 9th International Conference on Dry Zone Agriculture successfully. As the Joint Secretary, it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of Organizing Committee ICDA 2023 for everyone who really worked hard towards the success of this event. First and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Sri Satkuna Raja, for giving permission to organize this conference. Sir, your support and motivation have been invaluable to us. My sincere thanks to our chief guest, Professor S. Kannadasan, Acting Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna, who spent his valuable time to grace the occasion with his presence. On behalf of the organizing committee, we are delighted to extend a hearty vote of thanks to our guest of honor, Ms. Malathi Parasuraman, Director General, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka. We are all inspired by your great address, Madam. We are extremely grateful to the keynote speaker, Emeritus Professor Ushami, long-term expert JICA Presida, for accepting our invitation to be the keynote speaker for the conference and making an excellent presentation. We are greatly encouraged and benefited from your inspiring and timely address, sir. We express our sincere gratitude to the chairpersons of the technical session, Professor Hiroshi Ehara, Professor Koki Toyota, Professor Ajit Javira, Professor Masairo Tasumi, Emeritus Professor C. Sivayohanathan, and Dr. Mrs. J. Nimalan for accepting our request to chair the technical sessions. On behalf of the organizing committee, I convey my deepest sense of appreciation and thanks to all the preliminary level reviewers and external reviewers for allocating their precious time to review the papers and giving constructive feedback to the authors, which improved the quality and the papers presented at the conference. I am very much thankful to all the sponsors, JICA Presida, CIC Holdings, Rotary Club Kilinochi Town, Farmer Association Iranamadu, People's Bank Kilinochi, Nestle Lanka, CNK Agro Green Farm, and well-wishers. Without your generous financial support, it would not be possible to organize this conference as a successful one. We are looking forward to your continuous support for our future events too. Further, a special thanks to Professor Ogato, long-term expert JICA Presida, and Ms. Takayama Misako for assisting us in getting the sponsorship. An event like this cannot be happen overnight. The wheels started to rolling months ago. It requires planning and a bird eye to organize the event successfully. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very proactive and dedicated staff of our faculty. Here I would like to make a special mention to our respected Dean, Professor S. Vasandaruba, heads of the departments, Senior Assistant Registrar, academic staff, professors, farm manager, and academic supportive staff of our faculty for standing as a pillar of strength. With a deep sense of appreciation, I thank all for your effort in making this conference a successful one. I express my gratitude to the Deputy Registrar, Works Engineer and Engineering Supportive Division staff of Kilinachi premises for providing necessary logistic support in organizing this event. I am immensely thankful to all the presenters, authors and participants who participated in this conference. Without your valuable contribution, we would not be organized this event productively. I am also very thankful to Professor Sivamadi Sivachandran and her team for making this venue charming and eye-catching. My sincere gratitude to ICDA 2022 Organizing Committee for assisting us in the needed situation and providing guidance at the required times. My gratitude to Mrs. Abhirami Kirishan for her outstanding performance as the host of the conference. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the assistant lecturers, demonstrators, and students' union who have supported immensely to arranging this event. I sincerely thank the VC Media team, instructors, and technical session supportive staff of the Faculty of Agriculture, without whose support the hybrid conference would not be possible. Last but not least, a big thanks to all invitees who accept our invitation and grace this conference today. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our sincere thanks to each and everyone who worked behind the scene to make this conference happen successfully. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our inaugural session of 9th International Conference on Dry Zone Agriculture. Now we will call the photo session. To chief guest, the delegates, invitees, as well as the participants are welcome to take a position.